All right, hello, hello. Give me a second. How's everyone doing? Bit earlier for stream today. Give me a second because I forgot to upload my VOD for yesterday's stream. Which is not in the video producer for some reason. No, I just forgot to change the name. That's why. Export day 3. CK drawing. I forgot to. No, that should be fine. And right, that's all set. So, I'm not sure what I want to focus on today. I've got an idea of what I want to do as my sketch. I got a couple of things I want to do for observational drawing. One of them being a person, one of them being a brain work. What's it called? A background, like an image of a place. So before we do any of that, I'm quickly look for some tutorials that we can use. I've got some here on my phone, but I think any of them really are what I'm after at the moment. So I want to practice some drawing and sketching. But maybe I can just work on some of the artwork instead, because we've done some like cool drawing and sketching like this. So I want to do something like this, do an observational sketch, and then work on some actual art afterwards. Yeah, I think that's what I'll do. So, give me a minute and I'll look at. Honestly, I should have done this before I started streaming. It would have been probably smart to take like an extra 5-10 minutes of just to like look up a tutorial I want to do. Let me look up art tutorials on Pinterest. But yeah, basically spent the day playing some. We went to the gym in the morning, which was nice. Caught up with a friend. We played some games, which was cool. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna do some practice for shading, for lighting. I think that'd be cool. So I just need to draw a face to use for it though. Let me think. What would be a cool character to use? Like I could use my character, but I kind of want to draw someone else just for fun. I could draw like a Genshin Impact character. I could. I'm not sure. I'm trying to think who I could draw. Because I don't want to do anything too complex. Maybe I should just draw Miri. It'd be good practice to draw her more, I think. And then do some lighting practice. Yeah, we'll do that. So let me get some images of her for reference. Day 4. All right, Digital art, Twitch. No, it's Clip Studio, personal. I've got to like move where I keep my files, because where I've kept my character, my folder for my character, is in a different spot. Okay. So let's move this. I've got it as reference. One thing I gotta do more is I think it's called mood boards, where I like kind of find a bunch of images of reference and kind of save them together and put them together for the purpose of like for a project, kind of like putting them and being like, all right, I want to make a character that's like this. I think I know which character I want to try design for that. So maybe that's one thing I can do during these. I can create some mood boards and then try to do some character designs based on some of those. Always slanted. One of these days. Get a rough sketch of it. One second, I'm just getting a phone call. Alright, 1 second, I just gotta open up the... I'll be back in a minute. Oh, let me just finish this bit. And then quickly put a BRB. Won't be long. Alright, I'm back. Hello. Alright. Get my gloves back on. It's like kind of cold and kind of warm at the same time. So I've got like my jumper kind of like draped over my jacket, draped over my shoulders instead of wearing it completely because it's like too hot to wear completely, too cold not to have it on. I could probably go to my room. I could have probably gone to my room and got a different jacket or to put my bathrobe on instead. But no, here I am being lazy and just like getting like screwed. Okay, so this is gonna be the sketch. So I want this to be somewhat detailed. It's okay if it's not perfect, but the main thing is I want like a good sketch of the head. Cloud, hello! How are you doing? It's been so long. Been doing pretty good. I've been doing alright. I haven't streamed that much, if I'm being honest, like over the last few months. I've been very partially lazy, but also partially burnt out and like what's the words I'm looking for? I've just lost most of motivation. So I've challenged myself to stream every day throughout October, outside of some days where I've got some prior commitments, so I don't think I'll be able to stream in order to kind of like get back into the swing of things. But yeah, same. Yeah. I was gonna ask if you're still streaming, but I guess that answers it. It's just like a case of getting hard to kind of keep it up. Going through some mental issues, I guess? No, I get it. And sometimes you just need a break from it. I definitely want to stream more often, though. It'll just be a case of how often that can be. Between like work and everything else. But yeah. But hopefully the mental issues haven't been too bad, Cloud. Hopefully you're doing alright. Hopefully you've been able to keep powering through. Been trying to learn some new stuff, music-wise, like Synth-V, Utah, and new plugins in Reaper. Oh, okay. I never really replied to your what's it called? Your posts on my Discord about your music stuff. I always kind of just forgot, being like, hey, I'll listen to that later, and then I'll listen to it, but then I'll just forget to actually reply. But it's been pretty cool though, seeing you kind of like do a bunch of covers and all that sort of stuff. Covers? Is that the right term? Probably. I don't know. Have you still been doing it, or have you taken a break from it recently? And then like, are trying out the new stuff that you mentioned? I posted some new covers since then. Forgot to post it in your Discord apparently. Well, that's fine. I I haven't actually been really very active on my Discord anyway, so you know I don't blame you. Oh yeah, I can get rid of this. I'm here now. Okay. I don't feel very centered anymore. The sketch, it feels like it's a little bit more on this side. I feel like I need to do it like this. Yeah, that feels a little bit more centered. It's just a sketch, so I will fix it up in a bit. Alright, that should be good enough. Let's get my let's get black out. Save this. But yeah, outside of doing some music stuff, have you been up to much else recently? Any cool games that you've been getting into? Any other cool bits and bobs hobbies or whatnot? Do I want to make this bigger? Maybe a tiny bit. Like the main thing is to practice lighting. So it doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be too big. It just needs to be good enough. Been on the Tower Fantasy and Genshin grind, but not much else other than those two. I've been meaning to get back into Genshin, and I feel really bad that I've been missing a lot of the Genshin stuff because of like I've been missing all the anniversary stuff and all that. It's like, oh, I'm probably missing out on like so much like primo gems and all that jazz. It's like I kind of want to jump back in and do it again, but I'm also been recently getting into Final Fantasy 14, and last time I got into Genshin I was also getting into Final Fantasy, but then I didn't have time for both of them, so I had to drop Final Fantasy. So this time around I was like, alright, I'm gonna play more Final Fantasy, give it a fair go and see if I actually like the game, and I've been enjoying it and might actually purchase the subscription soon because my trial and free extra days are gonna run out soon. I think this at the end of this week. Started over on the 1st of October. Last time I played was on launch. Yeah. That was basically like it for me as well. Like last year, sometime around their anniversary is when I got back into it again. It was probably around this time last year. So it was like, well. And then Tower Fantasy seems cool, but I hear it's a lot like Genshin, and it's like, oh, that's cool. But I already have a lot of time sunk into Genshin. So if I were to play it, I feel like I'd rather just go play Genshin and actually, you know, do the game that I've already invested a lot of time into. And so yeah, I am, however, looking forward to another game that Hoyo's the MiHoYo verse, I think they're called now, is making, called Zenless Zone Zero. If you've seen that one. I've been playing Tower Fantasy since launch and haven't missed a day. The movement and multiplayer in Tower Fantasy is better than Genshin, to be honest. That's fair. I like a lot of the characters in Genshin, though. A lot of the designs are nice. How's the story, though? Because, like, one of the things that really drew me into Genshin was, like, because at first I wasn't really into, like, the intricacies of gameplay and maximizing my build and artifact hunting and all that. It was mostly, I liked the characters. I liked the story. It was, I don't know if I would say it was like super well designed, but it was a lot of fun and I enjoyed them and fell in love with them. And Zenless Zone Zero has like an aesthetic, like a street sort of punk aesthetic that well, maybe less punk, but like a street, almost post-apocalyptic kind of look that looks really cool, and I think I'm gonna enjoy a lot. And it just comes down to actually like, so when that comes out, I'm definitely gonna give it a go. And I think you might like this style a bit. I'm not too sure though. So I look up the trailer for Zenless Zone Zero if you haven't seen them already. The story in Tower Fantasy is a bit on the weak side, honestly. Hoping the story in 2.0 will be better. Yeah, that's fair. And that tends to sometimes be the case, where they'll focus on one thing and then kind of drop the ball on another. But it just comes down to like what they want their focus on. Like if it's going to be more MMO-ish, where it's like, yeah, story's kind of just there to propel the plot, but it's mostly about like the grind, the raids, all that sort of jazz. Or if it's going to be more story-focused and orientated. Not that you can't do both, but more often than not, you kind of see them go one way or the other. If you know what if you get what I mean. So I've been wanting to try out Zenless Zone Zero. There's another one that looked cool, but I don't even know if it's going to become a thing. Because it's like, there's not much news about it, but it's like called, I think it was called, it was Blue Protocol, I think it was called, which looks interesting. I don't know if it'll be any good, and apparently they had like a beta ages ago, and then since then it hasn't had like much else news, so the game might be dead, or at least very far from being finished. Multiplayer content is more in focus of Tower Fantasy, so Rage join. Yeah, because Genshin almost feels like a single player game with multiplayer bits and bobs rather than being a MMO focus. So I guess it's like more of that gacha feel. Or I guess Tower Fantasy probably has gacha elements, but might be more of that MMO focus.